Peace, my family, and we're back to all and those coming out at a good cocoon for the first time. Welcome. This is your girl, the butterfly, and we about to take off. Let's fly. Just want to send you all the good healing energy your way. Peace, love, happiness, harmony, and abundance. Hope you guys are out there keeping your mind right in that good 9. How y'all feeling out there today? Hope you guys are most definitely moving in your higher nature and cleansing the lows. Came here today to share another clip from our master teacher's book called The Mysteries of God Revealed. And this continues, so thought I'd share because again, this certainly most help on this good journey within. So with that being said, let's get started. I'm going to start where I left off, and it goes like this. L's Torah, Genesis 6:12-13, and it says, "And the Elohim Anunnaki took a good look at the planet Earth and saw that it was in a state of total ruin, and all those born in the flesh had become evil, disagreeable, and wasn't following Yahshua's commandments." 6:13. "And the Elohim Anunnaki said to Noah, Unifishim, the end has come for all beings of the flesh, because the planet Earth is now filled with violence in the presence of the holy ones. I will wipe out all of those born in the flesh from the planet Earth." And it goes on. "And God looked upon the earth, and behold, it was corrupt, for all flesh had corrupted his way upon and the earth. And God said unto them, Noah, the end of all flesh is come before me, for all the earth is filled with violence through them, and behold, I will destroy them with the earth." And so it goes on. Do you still follow? Question. Now, verse 22 tells you how Noah obeyed the Elohim, but carried out the order and gives to him by the one appointed. One moment. And let's get started. Okay, so I'm going to repeat this one. Now, verse 22 tells you how Noah obeyed the Elohim and carried out the order given to him by the one appointed in charge, the Yahshua. And it's going into chapter 7, verse 1, which makes it clear. So, Genesis, the Torah, 7:1. "And Yahshua said to Noah, Unifishim, bring yourself, your whole family house into the craft, for I have seen you act as a righteous one, and right in front of my face in this genealogy." So, it goes into, "And the Lord said unto Noah, Come thou and all the house into the ark, for ye have I seen righteousness before me in this generation." Genesis, and it goes into Genesis, verse 7:1, and it goes into verse 5. It says Noah did what he was commanded by Yahshua. And so it goes on. El Yahshua, Genesis 7:5. "And Noah Unifishim fashioned things according to all that Yahshua commanded him." And verse 9 tells you that it was the Elohim that gave that commandment. And so in El's Torah, Genesis 7:9, it goes into there went into the craft in pairs with Noah to rest upon Unifishim and the Zacarites and Caboites, just as the Elohim Anunnaki had conveyed the commandment. And there went in two into Noah into the ark, male and female, as God had commanded Noah. And it goes on. So now verse 16 makes it clear that the Elohim had commanded him to build the ark. But the fact that Yahshua Sargar shut him in means that this Yahshua was on earth with the Tabal craft was finished being built. He was closed the the physical door. He closed the physical door of the ark, again confirming that this Joshua, as he says in Genesis 6:3, he is also now flesh. So it goes on, else toward Genesis 7:16. And as they went into the Zawara, the Anamites and the Cavites, just as the Elohim and Anunnaki had conveyed into them, and Yahshua, Zawara, shut them in, and they went in, male and female, all flesh, as God had commanded them. And the Lord shut him up, or shut them in. So, finally, chapter 8 picks up, and the Elohim remembered Noah and everything, or every living thing, and the Elohim made a wind pass over the earth, and the water of Sharak ceased, assuaged. And it goes on. In chapter 8, verses 15-16, the Elohim allows them come forth out of the craft. In verses 20, Noah builds an altar to Yahshua and makes a burnt offering. In verse 21, Yahshua smells the sweet Savior, meaning in his soul, Raku, he was extended with the scent of the burning offering. So it goes on to toward Genesis 8:20-21 and 8:20. Noah and Nephistim built a altar to Yahshua and took one of each species of clean living things for food, animals, and clean for food, bird, and went up on it to be raised up on the altar. 8:21. And Yahshua smelled a soothing aroma of the feast being cooked by Noah and Nephistim. And Yahshua said in his heart, I will never again smite the Anamites or the Homo sapiens ever again, because of what was fashioned in the Anamite's heart of the disagreeable things from its earlier life, nor will I ever again smite everything living as I have. So it goes on. Noah built an altar unto the Lord, and took of every clean beast and every clean fowl, and offered burnt offerings on the altar. And the Lord smelled a sweet savor, and the Lord said into his heart, I will not again curse the ground, and more for man's sake, for the imagination of man's heart is evil from his youth. Neither will I again smite more everything living as I have done. And again, this Joshua has nostrils and a sense of smell, which makes him a physical entity. So it goes on. Stay with me on this. The burning altar were lit so that the visiting Elohim could find the camps at shadow hour when they were coming into the dark environment, because there were no lights on the roadways, or a ferry would act as a helicopter or a plane seeking landing or hunting survivors in the woods. And from the daylight arrivals, they depended on the thick smoke. And that's why in Exodus 13:21 they speak of the extraterrestrials moving by thick cloud in the day and by a bright light in the night. And this ancient mark was used by the children of Israel until they fell under the captivity under the Babylonian, who destroyed all of their books. So again, let's go on. They lost the true meanings of all of the rituals that was sent up between them and the visiting Elohim or Yahwehs from beyond the stars. Job 9, 7 through 10 calls these places, and they come from Orion, Pleiades, Arcturus. These are known as star constellations. As in Greek, the New Testament for heaven and Orinos, or simply Orion, and it goes on, where this Yahweh and Lord removed the dust cloud so that the sun's light may shine through, as mentioned in Genesis 1:14. These visiting beings are the gods of your procreation, called Anunnaki, Elohim, Gilgabor, Nephilim, Anakites, Angelis, Melech, or Malawok, Malachit, or Malakat, Gene Wings, Katina, Nadaru, Shikuya, Razul, Umawe, Nomos, Thunderbirds, Arish, Star People, simply called extraterrestrials, or beings extra in the terrestrial environment. In Job 38:32 speaks about the constellation of the stars called El Burak or El Burakja, to El's Holy Quran, chapter 27, in a chapter devoted to the star constellation in the zodiac of the Khadintra calendar, as they map the stars for their journeys to Earth. And it goes on. And then it goes on. Chapter 9, the Elohim. And Noah tells, and in Noah, in chapter 9, the Elohim again blessed Noah and tells the tools and fulfill and plenish the planet Earth. And think, Noah really needed to make a boat to be saved by his God. That was the only way to save him, with God's power. And it goes on. The L's toward Genesis 9:1. And it says, the Elohim Anunnaki blessed Noah and Nephishtim, the new Adam and his children, so that they would not have to work the mines, and said to them, the same as they said to the other Adam, be fruitful and multiply and replenish the earth. And so it goes on. Make note that the planet Noah, one moment, the planet Noah becomes the new Adam in the verse 5, where he would, or where the word man, the English word, be used again, and it gets the word Aramaic Hebrew, which is the word Anamites or Enosites. I'm sorry. It says he get the word Aramaic Hebrew word Anamites and not Enosites. So it goes on in El's Torah, Genesis 9:5, and it says, to shed your own blood, to kill each other's spirits or Anamites, Homo sapiens, will be punished. I will punish with my hands all animals with spirits who kill Anamites and their own brothers, Anamites. And so it goes on. And surely your blood over your own lives will I acquire. And again, at the hand, and then it goes on, at the hand of the life of man. In the verse 6 it says, the image of Elohim made it, he, Anamites. And whosoever that kills Anamite, Homo sapien, by shedding his blood, that is by another Anamite, will his own blood be shed, because the Anamites were fashioned in image and act of the likeness of the Elohim Anunnaki. So it goes on. Who sheddeth the man's blood, by man shall his blood be shed, For in the image of God made he man. So again, it says, so after the flood of Enos's descendants of Enos had perished, and it's the rebirth of the Anamites, descendants of Adam, in the image in the image of the Elohim. In the first seed, Genesis 1:27, and it goes on in verses 8:13. The Elohim established a new Berith, or a new Berith, which is a covenant with Noah, and he said, with them all on earth, and Elohim gave them an oath or a sign, a token of this covenant, and he sent a ark-shaped object within clouds. So it goes on. Make note that this is the same cylinder craft that protected the Israelites in Exodus 13:21, 14:19, and 40 verses 36 through 37. The mothership, or the mother plane, called Nibiru, meaning the planet which crosses the skies of the planet of the crossing. So it goes on. Verses 14 of chapter 9 tells you that he's going to bring Nibiru back in a large cloud over the earth, that the crystal city, which is a large dome-shaped craft, shall be seen in the cloud. Revelations 21:2. And Nibiru is back. And the astronomers have sighted it near comet of Helipop. And it goes on. And for further confirmation, or what I have been telling you all alone, information was released about a comet named Helipop, which was discovered by Alan Hale and Thomas Pock in the summer of 1999, or not 1999, but 1995 AD. And there is a certain information about a bright light that is next to the comet, which was, this is again not 1999, but 1995. So it's 1995. Sighted on November 1996 AD. The officials did not make the public known, or such as the public know this. So, when the comet was still as far away as Hale's comet, it was 1,000 times brighter, and the comet was first seen when its distance from the sun was much too great for the gaseous coma, or the gaseous comet, to form. Yet it had a huge coma, large, diameter than the sun, or diameter than the sun. And observations by the Hubble Space, telescope and other powerful ground-based scopes revealed unusual details, chunks breaking off from the comet, and no natural reason for this is happening, since the comet was too far away from the sun and for the gravity or the effects to do this. So it goes on. The orbit of the comet is very strange, as its same intelligence had engineered a comet to get our attention. So it goes on. There are comments made by astronomers. There are comments made by astronomers about this unusual object. And this object that they are talking about is Nibiru, which I made known many, many years ago. The comet itself is not Nibiru. referred to in Nibiru and the Anunnaki, fact or fiction. And that right there is on my channel, so if you scroll through, you can check it out for yourself and be nourished and send it to yourself. So, it goes on. Genesis 9:14. And in time to come, when I bring a cloud over the planet Earth, and that bow-shaped ship will be seen in the cloud skies. So it says, it shall come to pass when I bring a cloud over the earth, and it shall be seen in the clouds. So, let's see. Moving on. The Elohim told Noah in the verses 16 and 17 that this ark or bow, rainbow, or 7 colors, as the spears or 7, were put up there, the crystal city shall return, and it shall be illuminating through clouds as a covenant that he will remember every living creature of all flesh, and that there shall be no more floods. While Nibiru is back, the astronomers are going bonkers or berserk because they have no idea what this massive planet-sized ship, which they say is 4 times the size of the planet Earth, came from. And so, it goes on. El's Torah, Genesis 9:16-17. And this is 9:16. And the round-shaped ship, like a bow, Nibiru, will be in the cloud skies, and I will see it in order to remember an eternal covenant between the Elohim and Anunnaki, and between every living spirit of all those beings in skin that is upon the planet Earth. In 9:17, and the Elohim Anunnaki said to Noah, this is the distinguished mark of the Baruch covenant, and I have established between me and all those in the skin which is upon the planet Earth. And so it goes on. And this covenant between the Elohim, every creature on planet Earth, now because of this great event, verses 20, tells you that Noah planted a vineyard, celebrating and becoming drunk with wine. So it says, El's Torah, Genesis 9:20. And Noah vowed himself to become a human being of Annamite Homo sapiens and planted a vineyard. And Noah began to be a husbandman and planted a vineyard. And this leads to the curse of Canaan, son of Ham, in the verse 24-27. And the Canaanites would be the plague of the seed of Noah, acting as agents of the serpent people, or Luciferians, until the end, or the Aran, or the Anakite, refer to the sons of Canaan and the dog scroll. And those right there you can find on Scribe and All Eyes on Egypt bookstores and online. So it goes on. The first chapter of the scroll of Genesis on up into chapter 9, you saw how the names God, gods, and Lord the Lord God were all being used simultaneously. However, when you look it up in the original Aramaic Hebrew language, you'll find that these were different entities with different positions and held different ranks. And another name that is used here is Al-Lam or Alim, and it goes into the first appearing as just a word in Genesis 3:22, and it means forever. And it appears in Genesis 6:3 with the before it as the everlasting. Then Genesis 6:4 uses the word old, but in Hebrew it used Alam, And in Genesis 9:12, it used perpetual, perpetual. And then it goes on again in Genesis 9:16, it's the everlasting. Again, in Genesis 13:15, it's forever. And in Genesis 17:7, it's everlasting. And in the first time, it reveals that it is the name of the identity or one of the Yahshuas. In Genesis 21:33 is where it states, Abraham planted a tamarisk tree in the Beersheba, or called there the name of Yahshua, El Palam, in the eternal everlasting. And that right there, I'm going to stop. Is that right there was the end of that verse. And so I'm going to leave it at that for now. Now, this is for you also, if you can, if you're going on this good journey with them, to do a self-study and for you to go over this. It is encouraged for you to go over this yourself, because again, it's all about doing that inner work. And so I'm just putting it out here. So if you are interested, you want to check this out yourself, you can check it out. It is on Scribe. You can check it out in other places as well. So if you are interested, you can do that. And on that note, I'm going to leave it at that. If you have any questions, you can leave it in the comment section, or you can email me. Release our master teacher, Dr. Malachi L. Peace. Shalom. Ashe. And Wadu.